Hello everybody, and welcome back to Pokemon Ranger. So we started off our final special mission, where the professor has the precious egg be taken by the return once again of the Go Rock Squad. And now it is up to us and Solana and the other character to return to get it back. The Go Rock Squad should still be in the Lyra Forest. Yeah, this portion of the Lyra Forest is where we're gonna be taking on. Where the majority of this mission is where this mission is gonna be taking place. Oh yeah, that's right, we have this. Yeah, this mission is the only time in the entire game where you can actually get to have a Politoed as a freaking Politoed as your friend Pokemon. Yeah. we cannot get a Politoed anywhere else. Well, actually, aside from the now we cannot get a wild Politoed anywhere else in the entire game. Yeah, the only times where you can get Politoed outside of this mission are indeed the first time where we helped and captured to capture Percy's Politoed back. And there was also during the Raintown capture challenge. Yeah, and there was also that capture challenge, within Fall City. Yeah, but like I said, this is the only time in the entire game where you ever get to have a Politoed as your freaking friend Pokemon. And this is probably going to be the only time that you'll ever get to experience it. But anyway, how is everyone? Now, as you also saw, yeah, this is also another place where, now this is also the only time in this whole entire game where you'll actually will get to see a Pikachu, will ever get to see Pikachu within this portion of the Lyra Forest. Yeah, normally we would have seen Pikachus in the more deeper portions of the forest. Yeah, but like I said, this is our first time that we will ever get to see that. But anyways, everyone, now here's the reason as to why you actually need a Politoed. Is because we have not one but 3 ragged rocks that are going to be standing our way. Yeah, and you only need to really need to spray water on just one of them. But anyways, so long, Politoed. Up, hello. Darn it! How did you spot me? You're good. To be able to see through my Graveler's camouflage. But let's see you capture them. That's another story. Yeah, we're now going to be taking on not just 1, but 3 Gravelers. Yeah, I would say definitely utilize either Chikorita or Mudkip for this. Well, I guess you can go for this fight without having to utilize any Poke Assists. But honestly, yeah, if you want to make this more easier for yourself, yeah, I would say definitely just to utilize either Chikorita or Mudkip for these. For these three. Excuse me. Anyways, Solid Graveler. Yeah, like always, your teamwork is too good. Excuse me again, Jesus. But don't think that's the only way you're out of it. There are other ways of looking cool in this world. I know I said it, but that was a lame comeback. Yeah, that was definitely a lame comeback. But anyways, now there is nobody here. As we come across here, there they are. We must get to Fall City, our destination, which we reach by going through the Krokka Tunnel. I see, however, that there are 2 paths here. Which way is it? Yeah, they actually forgot where exactly False City is located. Now, I planted mushrooms on the correct path it is. Which was it now? My god, excuse me, sorry. Yeah, I don't know what is over me right now. But anyways, everyone. Now, what you're seeing right now, definitely pay attention, because now, as that grunt said, now he has planted mushrooms on the path, so that they can actually figure out which way is the correct path towards the tunnel, towards the Krokka Tunnel. But however, there's gonna be some mushrooms that look very different. They're gonna look somewhat different to the ones that he planted. Yeah, definitely pay attention to that as we go along with this. Yeah. But anyways, yes, right now he's still talking about how he's about how the professor's assistant, the professor's assistant was actually a spy. No true words were spoken. That is why we decided to step in and take custody of the Manaphy Egg. Do you understand now? And now we must bid you farewell. Yeah, only those two. But as for her, hold, should I go on, squad? Why does that guy seem to know exactly what's been said? In the professor's lab? Hey, you sleepy peacenik rangers. You're not getting past me. Just to make up for it, I'll tell you about our deliciously evil plan. We're going to hatch Manaphy from the egg and get it to guide us to the sea temple. Manaphy is going to lead us to that sea crown thing. That way, our new boss is going to become the king of the seas. He's going to be way bigger than our old boss, Gordor. No comparison. That's enough. That's enough talking. I'm switching to attacking. And she attacks us with only just four live original Rattatas. Yeah, this isn't like the first time we encountered Rattatas in this game, where there was like 8 or 9 of them at once. Yeah, this time there's only like 4 of them. But you can't go as far as forcibly taking a Pokemon egg from us, do you? That's what hobbies you do. Yeah, possibly. Whatever. But anyways, now just like with the other special missions, yeah, if you're trying to leave this portion of the Lyra Forest, you can't. Yeah, as I said, you are essentially going to be stuck in this portion of the forest. Yeah. Excuse me again. The path splits into 2. Why is he asking us? When clearly the other path is clearly a ledge. Yeah, I don't know why he's even bothering to ask. Yeah, when the other pathway is literally a ledge. Yeah, this is so stupid. It's like, why? That is so stupid, man. Why did you even bother to ask that question? When there's clearly no way for us to be able to get on top of there anyway. No one gets in the way of the Go Rock Squad's resurrection. And now he's gonna be taking us with Zubats. Okay. Sorry again. Yeah, I don't know what the hell is wrong with me lately. But since we are getting to the ending portion of this game, so yeah, this last mission will be the very last thing that I will ever show off for this whole entire game. So yeah. Yeah, this was surely quite a while coming, but it is finally here. But anyways, everyone, now as you saw with the Swellow here, not only is this the only time that we will ever get to see Swellow in this portion of Lyra Forest. But also, you're definitely going to be needing that. You're definitely going to be needing that Swellow for something major important. Now, and if you just recall what I just said about how some of the mushrooms that the Korok squad planted, they have some of them look somewhat different. Yeah, like that one. Yeah, like that one, for example. Excuse me again. Yeah, you may notice that the previous mushrooms that we saw were yellow and they had red spots. Yeah, it turns out these are actually our live Parasects. Oh yes, right now. We're gonna be doing that in just a little later. But first, we have you again. We're tenacious, but you're even more tenacious. I thank you, I guess. But anyways, no, this time she just sends out on just one Scyther. Yeah. But anyways, dealing with just one Scyther at this point of the game really shouldn't be all that complicated, so bye. Blah to you. You're not getting back to Manaphy Egg. Yeah, you just keep on thinking that. And now we have these two again. Now, I don't know if they can see well, considering that they clearly have eyes, so they can probably easily see the actual tunnel, where the actual entrance to the tunnel is. But apparently, they don't exactly have very good eyesight. Yeah, where as you saw with that Parasect actually moved. Yeah, that's something that we actually have to do. Now, as for the Swellow that we just got, we're gonna be going back to that previous Parasect that moved, or essentially made itself a look. So we actually foresaw someone. Yeah, now this is where we're gonna be utilizing our Swellow on the Parasect, so then we can have this one move, wait over towards to the pathway that is actually the dead end area. Yeah, the area where we would find from Bulbasaur in. This is how you are gonna be able to trap the commander. That we aren't gonna be trapping the commander. That's we are gonna be trapping the commander, and so that we can actually get back at the egg. And then as we go back again, at this point, if you don't actually move that Parasect, whatsoever, your ass is just, you are just gonna keep on going in circles until you eventually do. Yeah. But anyways, and with that is the second Politoed that we've seen in this whole entire mission. Yeah, the second, huh? Apparently this mission has apparently really likes Politoed. Yeah, despite not exactly, we can't exactly catch one of our own within the base game anyway. But anyways, everyone. Now, if you just happen to keep on going in circles again, the Pokemon that you really are gonna be fighting in this one are gonna be either for Rattatas, Zubats, and the occasional Meowth, Scyther, and Politoed. Yeah, that is essentially all of the Pokemon. That is essentially all of the Pokemon that we're gonna be encountering. Before we actually get to the Commander Trapped. Yeah. There, my mushroom again. Yeah, you just keep saying that. But again, how in the world are these two blind when they could have clearly seen the actual entrance to the cave back there? Yeah, again, these two are just completely blind, man. Yeah, guess what? Dead. You're dead. It's a dead end now. You led us into a cul-de-sac. How utterly pathetic. Incapable of even the simple task of guiding me through a forest. They were mushrooms as trail markers. Yeah, not all of them were. What the? They chased me down? What were my students doing? To be outwitted by mere children. My underlings are failures. Every last one of them. Looks like you've run out of places to run. There's no getting away this time. Why don't you realize that it's hopeless and to turn over the egg quietly? Yeah, I don't think he's really gonna be doing that. Don't let my looks fool you. I'm going to be the new Go Rock Squad boss. No, not only that, I am the chosen one. I shall come to reign as the absolute ruler of all Fiore. Don't you understand? Your mere act of speaking against me is an act of vile insolence. Before you utter another word from your imputed mouth, I will give you a lesson you won't forget. And he does that by summoning 2 Scythers and a Venusaur. Now, I would say for this, yeah, definitely take out, yeah, I would say definitely capture the Scythers first. Yeah, so then you can definitely focus more your attention on the Venusaur after that. But however, if you made the Venusaur grow too much of those vines, it can make trying to get him a little bit difficult. So I would say if you're having some trouble trying to get the Venusaur, definitely utilize once again the Fire friggin' Poke Assist. See? Fire Assist wins always. The Fire Assist always wins. Jeez. At least I get to show it off one more time. Impossible. It's inconceivable that I lost. Call me a sore loser. But you're never getting this egg away from me. Call me a coward. But I will flee. And off we go again. No! He got away! Yep. So, how exactly I'm gonna be able to chase him down now? Well, guess what? You really don't have to worry too much because... Look who's here! Yeah, it's freaking Gordor! Yeah, it's definitely been a long while since we last saw him, huh? The Manaphy Egg isn't just something that anyone can hold thoughtlessly. It isn't something that is simply beautiful. It contains a life. At the very least, the one who should be looking after this egg isn't this fool. Ow! Please stop twisting my arm like that, Gordor. You abandoned the Go Rock Squad. What made you come back when you're like you own the place? Ow! Okay, I got it. You can have your egg. Here, yeah, and off he goes. And with that is done. This is the Manaphy Egg. Gordor, what did you do after disbanding the Go Rock Squad? Yeah, what exactly did he do ever since we last saw him? I've done nothing in particular since then. I've thought a lot. I've thought about how you saved me at the very end. I felt small and ashamed of my own petty pride, and that was nothing next to the glare of your nobility. Yeah, nobility, alright. it was pathetic. But it was all I could do to flee in shame. But I've awakened from the nightmare. Excuse me again. I finally realized that what I should be doing is making amends for my crimes. Alright then. I ask myself every day what I can do to make things better for people. I don't think that I can ever atone for all of my misdeeds, but I must try. You are the ones who awakened me to become what I am today. And for that, I owe you a thanks. Thank you. And please, give my regards to Professor Hastings. Alright then. Well, off he goes again. Wow, he was like a changed man. It was as if he hatched from an egg or something. This egg, we better take it back safely. Yeah, we had better do that. And with that, that right there is gonna be the end of the very last special mission in this whole entire game. And now, as we go for these, last set of credits, now I may as well tell you, what exactly do with the Manaphy Egg? Well then, once you have cleared this mission, you can actually transfer the egg over to Diamond and Pearl using the mystery gift feature. And then of course when you transfer the egg over to those games, that's when you can have the egg be hatched, and then that's how you can get your very own Manaphy. And for those of you who don't know, you can still breed Manaphy. But however, you can only breed a Manaphy with only a Ditto. Yeah, only Dittos, huh? Guess I'm the only one who can. But anyways, when you get the egg from them, instead of getting Manaphys, you will instead get a Pokemon called Fione, which is a Pokemon that it's only really there so you could just breed lots and lots of. Yeah. Now, even if you breed a Fione with a Ditto as well, you will still only get Fiones, and that's it. Yeah, you cannot get multiple Manaphys with upbreeding. And speaking of not being able to get multiple Manaphys, now another thing that you should probably know about this submission in particular. Because it is impossible to reset the Ranger net. There can only be one Manaphy egg per copy. Yeah, meaning that you can only really get one Manaphy egg per game. Meaning, if you really wanted to get multiple Manaphys, yeah, you would have to keep buying the games multiple times over. Yeah. But however though, there is a way that you can still get multiple Manaphy eggs. Now, and the only way that you can do that is if you completely delete the save game only by using additional hardware homebrew software, and therefore it will therefore it will allow an additional transfer after each complete deletion and playthrough. Yeah, meaning that you can still get multiple you can still get multiple eggs within the same game that you currently own. It's just that the way that you do it, you're gonna need some additional hardware in order for you to be able to do that. Yeah, but anyways, everyone, now I guess I should go over. I want to say, since we go over, I may as well go over my overall thoughts in terms of the actual post-game now. Yeah, since this will be the very last one for this whole entire playthrough. Now, as you can tell, considering that this is the very first Ranger game ever, the very first Ranger game in existence. And since it doesn't exactly have any means of any like side quests or side missions, so your only majority thing that you really do in this one, as you saw, was to really capture every single other Pokemon that are available within the game. Now, within the other two, they do bring in a few more content. Now they do bring in more content for you to do once you have completed the main storyline. So yeah, but anyways, but I will say my overall thoughts when it comes to this post game. Yeah, I would say it was pretty solid enough. Now, even though there were some portions that definitely took me quite a while to do, but overall, honestly, I still enjoy my time with this one. Yeah, and more so for this whole entire game as well, too. Yeah. Yeah, I would say overall, this was definitely an enjoyable game for me to go through. Again, actually, yeah. But anyways, everyone, now as you may have saw, while you wait, in order for you to be able to transfer the Manaphy Egg, Professor Hastings said is that he is just gonna keep it in his lab. Yeah, but he's probably gonna keep it for like the rest of his life because of a thing that I probably cannot do for the life of me. Okay, now once you enter the Ranger Net again, now you can actually select this called check the egg, and then you can see a description for it. And then you can see how many days it is under the professor's care. And if you touch on the screen, it will go to the send message data. So then you can have the Manaphy Egg be transferred over to Gem 4. Now here's what I was saying about that egg is probably gonna be stuck here. Is because since I went for this whole entire game on the Wii U Virtual Console, I don't know if it's actually possible for you to transfer the egg over to the Gen 4 games. So yeah, this egg is essentially going to be trapped in this whole which means that this Manaphy Egg is going to be trapped here for all eternity. Yeah, that really is such. Yeah, honestly, that really is such a bummer way to live. Yeah, essentially gotta be trapped in this egg forever. But anyways, everyone, with that said, that right there is everything to show for Pokemon Ranger. And so I would like to say thank you all so much for watching this playthrough. And I'll see you guys, and I'll see you guys for whatever the next one will be. And so till then, I'll see you all later.